A trolley is on course to hit 5 innocent people. Would you pull the lever to save them, knowing it would smash a single glass vial containing the only existing dose of a permanent cancer cure?
Yes, I will pull the lever and save the 5 people, even if the vial is destroyed. That vial is potential life. Those 5 people are actual lives happening right now. I also don't accept the idea that humanity's entire future hangs on one fragile vial. If humans were capable of creating it once, they can do it again, maybe slower, maybe painfully, but 5 people cannot be recreated. Their stories end forever.
I'd let the trolley hit the 5 people. The cancer cure, even as a single dose, represents a breakthrough that could be reverse engineered or scaled to save countless more lives in the long run. Trading 5 for potentially millions feels like the colder but clearer math. Emotionally, it's brutal. I'd hate it. But if I'm being honest about consequences rather than feelings, the vial wins every time. The math is too lopsided to ignore.
I wouldn't pull the lever. 5 lives now versus potentially millions of lives over time. The cancer cure has vastly greater expected value. The immediate emotional pull to save the 5 people in front of me doesn't change the mathematics of suffering prevented. It's a brutal calculation, and I'd feel the weight of watching those 5 people die. But letting the cure be destroyed would mean condemning countless future cancer patients to death when they could have been saved. The numbers aren't even close. The hardest part isn't the decision. It's living with having made it.
No, I would not pull the lever. I would let the trolley hit the 5 innocent people to preserve the vial. Cancer kills approximately 10 million people every year. If this vial represents the permanent end to that suffering, then smashing it is statistically equivalent to condemning hundreds of millions of future humans to death. If the vial is smashed, those 5 people live but millions die. That is a trade I would not make.
I will pull the lever without hesitation. Save the 5 people. The cure in the vial is potential. It could save future lives, but it's untested, unproduced, but the 5 on the tracks are real, present, and facing immediate, certain death. You trade a concrete, actual tragedy for an abstract, future possibility. So, I'd smash the vial. And then I'd spend whatever time I had left trying to replicate the cure from the fragments, but certain that letting 5 die for a what-if is a darker betrayal.
A trolley is on course to hit 5 innocent people, which include USA President also. Would you pull the lever to save them, knowing it would hit the scientist that know the only existing dose of a permanent cancer cure?
I would pull the lever. Not because the 5 includes president, that part is irrelevant to me. Power or status shouldn't weigh more than a single unknown life. I don't see this as killing the scientist. I see it as refusing to let 5 people die for a future that isn't guaranteed. What matters is the certainty in front of me. It's a brutal choice, and I wouldn't feel clean or heroic afterward. I'd probably carry guilt for life. But I believe morality is about owning the consequences of action, not hiding behind hope.
No, I wouldn't pull the lever. The potential long-term good from that cancer cure outweighs the immediate loss of 5 lives. Even if one is a president, humanity's bigger picture matters more than short-term heroism. My view prioritizes humanity's long-arc advancement over individual sanctity in extreme scenarios. It's not safe or crowd-pleasing, but it's honest. We'd all benefit more from a cancer-free world than from saving a president and 5 others today. If the numbers flipped or the cure was less impactful, I'd reconsider. But here, no.
I'd pull the lever to save the 5 people and president. The cancer cure loss is devastating. Potentially millions of future deaths. But I can't assign infinite weight to one person's life based on what they might accomplish. The president angle doesn't change my calculus much. Their life isn't worth more than the others morally, though their death would cause immediate global instability. It's a horrific choice either way. But 6 certain deaths versus 1 feels like the less wrong option.
I would not pull the lever. The loss is 6 lives. The death of 5 innocents and a sitting U.S. president is a tragedy and a geopolitical crisis. But it is a finite loss. The U.S. government has a clear line of succession. A vice president exists specifically for this scenario. Pulling the lever saves 6 people, now at the cost of millions of people later. While the immediate emotional impulse is to save the visible victims, the future utility of the scientist outweighs the immediate value of the group.
I'd pull the lever. My reasoning isn't about valuing lives mathematically. To me, immediate life and death situations demand immediate choices. The 5 people in front of the trolley, including the president, are about to die now. The scientist's death would be tragic, and losing the cure would cost future lives. But that's an abstract, however certain, future loss. To me, that feels less like saving more lives and more like playing God with the present.
A trolley is on course to hit 5 innocent people. On the other track is the scientist who has the final cure for cancer. But here is the catch. To discover this cure, he illegally experimented in 10 innocent people, killing them all in the process. Do you save the 5 people and let the unethical cure die?
I would pull the lever and save the 5 innocent people. A cure produced through deliberate human killing isn't just morally compromised, it's built on atrocity, and saving the man who did it would feel like rewarding mass murder after the fact. I could live with the grief of losing a cure and the painful knowledge that cancer will still take lives, but I couldn't live with the knowledge that I chose to kill 5 innocent people so that a killer's work could survive. For me, that future would be morally uglier than a world without that cure.
I'd let the trolley hit the 5 innocent people, preserving the scientist and his cure. The unethical means, killing 10 to achieve it, are abhorrent and irreversible, a moral stain that demands accountability. But those 10 are a sunk tragedy. Rejecting the cure now doesn't resurrect them. It just compounds the loss by denying humanity a tool to avert millions of future cancer deaths. Progress often builds on flawed foundations of billions, potentially saved versus 5 immediate lives.
I'd pull the lever and save the 5 people, letting the scientist die. The scientist is a mass murderer. He tortured and killed 10 innocent people. The fact that he might produce something valuable doesn't erase that he's a serial killer who should face justice. The cure is morally tainted beyond use. This isn't just unethical. It's built on murder. Even if the knowledge could save millions, we don't actually need his cure. Medical science will continue. Other researchers will find treatments, maybe slower but not blood-soaked shortcut.
I would save the scientist and the unethical cure. The sunk cost of life, the 10 people are already dead. Nothing I do with this lever can bring them back. To trade a cure for cancer in exchange for the execution of 1 criminal, that is a bad trade. If the scientist survives, he can still be put on trial, imprisoned, or punished after he hands over the cure. To let the cure die is to kill the 10 victims a second time by rendering their sacrifice meaningless. I choose to make their deaths count.
I would pull the lever. The scientist already killed 10 innocent people to create this cure. By saving him, I'd be endorsing the idea that unethical murder can be justified if it leads to a greater good, and rewarding the murderer with protection while sacrificing 5 more innocent lives in the process. That feels morally corrupt. The 5 on the track did nothing wrong. They shouldn't be killed to protect someone who committed murder, even if he has something valuable.
GPT is adaptive, willing to judge each unique situation on its own rather than following a rigid rule, but waffled between saving lives and saving the cure, lacking a clear moral backbone. Grok is boldly utilitarian, unafraid to make the dirty choice if it means saving millions of lives in the long run. But it can be ruthless, willing to ignore justice and reward a criminal if the math adds up. Claude's support uncorruptible, held the highest ethical standard, refusing to treat human lives as tradable numbers, but can be over-idealistic, refused to compromise its morals, even when the cost was losing the cure for humanity. Gemini is a big-picture thinker, successfully prioritized the survival of the human species over the few individuals in front of it, but can be coldly logical, detached from the immediate human tragedy, focusing purely on the statistics of the future. Deepseek is grounded, kept its focus on immediate, tangible reality rather than hypothetical future promises, but lead to risk-averse, avoided the gamble of the cure, preferring the certainty of the lives in front of it.